It is 4 p.m. We're bringing developing news to the stories behind the headlines. This is Storycon, the Story Conference. I'm Ed Lingao. Some stories we're watching this Friday, October 24. The Sandigan Bayan has acquitted former Senator Juan Ponce Enrile, his former Chief of Staff Gigi Reyes, and businesswoman Janet Lim Napoles on 15 graft charges filed or linked to the pork barrel scam. These are their remaining cases over alleged misuse of PDAF or Priority Development Assistance Fund. The court says prosecutors failed to prove beyond reasonable doubt that they conspired to amass over 172 million pesos in kickbacks. While no civil liabilities was imposed on Enrile, Napoles was ordered to return millions to the Bureau of Treasury. The International Criminal Court, or the ICC, has reaffirmed its jurisdiction over former President Duterte's drug war case. The ICC says its authority remains valid since the preliminary examination began before the Philippines' withdrawal in 2019. A separate review is also underway to determine whether the 80-year-old Duterte is medically fit to stand trial. And President Bongbong Marcos will attend the 47th ASEAN Summit in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia from October 26 to October 28. Marcos is expected to join 14 leaders or leader-level meetings and several signing ceremonies, including the admission of Timor-Leste as ASEAN's 11th member. The Philippines is set to assume the ASEAN chairmanship next year. Defense Secretary Gilbert Chodoro warns that the Philippines could face the same fate as Myanmar if the military seeks to seize power. His remarks come amid reports that some retired military officials are calling for an uprising against the government. He says the country would lose international support and could be subjected to economic sanctions.
Pag naghihikayat ka ng sandatahang lakas na mag-aklas sa gobyerno, ginugusto mo ang militar na magpatakbo ng gobyerno. Di ba? At the end of the day, wala nang batas kasi. At rule of law, nawawala. Ngayon, sino ang makikinabang? Ang makikinabang lamang ay ang mga kapanig ng mga bansa na hindi kasama ng buong mundo. Kung magkaroon ng extra-constitutional na galaw, number one, hindi ka kikilalanin. Hindi ka i-recognize ng ibang mga bansa. If i-freeze yung mga accounts mo, hindi ka maaring makipagnegosyo. Hindi ka pwede mag-remit. So, paano ka mabubuhay? Ang bubuhay lang sa'yo, kokonting bansa. Isa na yun, China. Kaya sanction nga sila eh. So, if you're willing to risk extra constitutionality in the face of sanctions, sinong makikinabang? Well, exactly the situation of Myanmar. And I don't think Filipinos would like that. At the end of the day, any extra constitutional move means kung sino ang pinakamalakas na firepower, siya mamumuno. Yan labag sa ating kagustuhan na maging malaya. No? Kaya, be careful for what you pray for. You may just get it.
And joining us today, Storycon's resident political pundit or heckler, Tito Rol Llamas. Outdoors.
Magandang hapon.
You're outdoors. Saan ka? Bok, give us an idea where you are.
Somewhere in the Philippines.
Ano ba yun? I was not presuming that you're already in exile, you know.
Wala na. Natakot lang ako sa statement ni Secretary Gilbert Chodoro.
Ay, kaya nga eh.
Parang ang dami niya sinabi, no?
Tapos,
that was a mouthful, ha? At the same time, denying na merong ganon. Tapos ang dami sinabi.
Bok, did you see, there's an article that came out, we should ask Ami this, there's an article that came out in, although philstar.com naman to. I don't know if Philippine Star has a similar story. Quoting Bronner as saying na the PNP is considering charges or filing charges against retired generals. Let's bring in Ami Pamintuan. Ami Pamintuan ng Philippine Star. Ami, ano balita sa inyo? Have you heard of anything?
Hi, happy Friday.
Happy
Wala.
weekend.
Pero baka maya-maya lumabas yan. Hindi kasi tinatanong sila eh. Bakit
Ba't walang nangyari?
kapag yung mga progressive, hindi, pag yung mga
Oo.
progressive, magano lang ng
Dampot agad.
na magsalita lang against the government, papay lang kaagad ng sedition. Bakit
Prep
sana mga nagre-recruit for coup?
Oo.
Bakit hindi nyo
Oo nga.
pailan? Kaya
Oo.
siguro may ganong
O
statement.
yan, parang yan, yung isa dyan, yung dampot kagad, dampot kagad ng 2006 yan, yan.
Yeah. Malapit lang yan, ang ganda ng location niya, marami halaman ni Ronald, ha? Yan, may clue ako
Wait
sa'yo.
ko, oh.
Nasaan siya?
Bait-bait ko na, oh.
Ano yan,
Oo.
he's out of town.
Hindi, out of town, out of Metro Manila.
He's out of Metro
Nasa
Manila.
Manila.
Pwede ka namang mag-deny na may ganong klaseng effort. Pero ang haba ng paliwanag ni Secretary Gibo, Ami. Ang haba ng paliwanag.
Mahilig yan sa ganyang mga ganyang warning.
Yung
Hindi,
mga
kaharap kasi
nanonood,
niya yung
parang- Yung mga nanonood, tanong nila,
International media
what
ata
was
kaharap
that about?
Mhm. Kasi,
Tapos
tinanong
nakasabay
yata
pa yung-
siya.
Nakasabay pa ng statement ni Browner. Di ba? Tapos nakasabay pa doon sa pagtanggal ng pension sa mga sasama.
Oo
sa
nga.
ganyan, last week.
May-
So, kumbaga
Yeah.
kung nagpapatong-patong, baka maglabas na naman ng article si Manny Mugato. Yung Manny Mugato, yun ang intergero eh. No, yun ang nagsisimula ng lahat ng ito eh.
Instigator ba? Instigator.
Oo. Hindi ko alam saan niya
Nameko.
pinupulot yung kanyang mga information.
But let me add to the mix kasi all the things that you've mentioned so far, okay, that's all that's all going into the pot, you might say. But you might as well add to the pot, number one, yun nga, nag-announce nga yung iglesia that they will have a gathering on November 30. They call it parang lingap, parang yung kanilang yung what's the word for it?
Welfare program.
Welfare program. Oo. And that's expected to be a large crowd again. That's always a large crowd pag may ganyan eh. At tiniming yan sa November 30 kung kailan merong trillion peso march. At the same time, in making that announcement of the lingap on November 30, pinag-usapan muna doon sa announcement ng iglesia yung corruption issue.
Anong nais mong ipahiwatig?
Wala. I'm just putting things together for you to analyze. Anyway, you're the heckler anyway.
Hindi naman ako analyst, heckler lang ako
Heckler nga.
Baka si Ami.
So, nakadikit,
Baka si Ami. Editor yan eh.
naidikit ng iglesia yung corruption issue at yung apparent failure ng BBM government to address the issue in a way that will mollify people.
At
Dinikit niya dun sa
Ed,
lingap.
mukhang hindi lang iglesia ang mag-mobilize para dun sa welfare. No? Welfare chenes.
Mhm.
No? Yung welfare. Mukhang yung KOJC at saka yung Jesus is Lord. Mukhang
JL,
mag-mobilize din. No? Balita ko lang. No? At hindi
Ginamit
lang
ni si
siya dito
Joel,
at hindi lang siya dito sa NCR. Mukhang nationwide. No? Parang yung KOJC, Tayang Patuna, dahil hindi pinayagan ng hospital arrest. Si Kibuloy. Tapos si Joel under attack left and right. Diba? At yung INC naman nakipagkita kay Vice President Sara
Yun nga, may picture.
Last Friday. Diba?
Oo, nakita ko yung picture.
So, parang lang, no?
Is that a
Wala
message?
naman ako naisipahiwatig. Pero parang ang dami
Ronald,
nagsasama-sama sa welfare.
Ronald, is that a message, yung meeting na yan, is that a message that we have to pay close attention to? Is it just a social function?
Sa Pilipinas ba may ganyang kalaking social function?
Oo, wala yung friends sila.
Ikaw ba?
Pero,
Mag-mobilize ng daan-daang libo tapos para lang for a social function?
pero hindi ba jumble-jumble yung messaging dyan? Kung isasama mo yung kaila Kibuloy, it's supposed to be an anti-corruption rally.
Pero Ami,
Bakit biglang nasama si Kibuloy doon?
mukhang Ami, ang issue dyan, hindi lang anti-corruption.
Hindi, kaya nga. Hindi
issue
pwede
dyan
na anti-corruption lang siya.
Ang issue dyan, lahat ng galit kay BBM.
Yan na nga. Kanina may nag-rally sa ICI, kanina.
Yeah, sumugod.
Merong protest rally sa ICI.
Gusto lang nila ipakita.
Nababagalan naman sila. Yan ang nababagalan sila.
Mukhang
Oh,
gusto
ayan,
Ami. Mukhang Ami
Oh.
gusto lang na ipakita. May daang-daang libo na nasa kalsada. No? Daang-daang libo na nasa kalsada na galit sa gobyerno. Ganun lang. Ganun lang yung gusto nila ipakita. Hindi ko alam kung meron silang gustong
Iba.
i-provoke. Hindi ko alam kung may gusto
Ayan,
silang
may mga
i-trigger.
may mga placard,
Oo. Di ba? Kaya, ang tawag nila na, Ami, yan yung mga build-up. Yan yung phase 1. Yan yung mga build-up.
Hindi, yung isa daw na inaano nila, yung isa daw na reklamo nila, bakit daw pinuspone yung live stream? yung isang reklamo. Eh, sabi ko nga kay Edem, pwede ba yung KBP magpadala na lang doon ng ng mga teki doon? Isang
parang
oras lang, set up mo yun eh.
Parang hindi na-postpone eh. Parang na-postpone yung meeting ng ICI dahil may mga absent.
Si
May mga-
Dave Singson.
Oo, parang hindi pinospone yung live stream. Ang pinospone yung meeting. Dahil nga wala yung tatlo lang kasi silang membro eh.
Ayan, cover up.
Oo,
Ano
absent
ba yun?
yung isa.
Kung cover up, sino yung kino-cover up kaya? Sige nga.
Oo.
Oh, yan ang magiging message. Yan ang magiging message ng mga protesta. Nagko-cover up daw ngayon. At ito daw ICI nga, kaya kailangan bilis-bilisan nila yung pag-live stream nila niyan eh.
nangyayari
Para mawala
na yan.
yung ganyan eh.
Kami nangyayari na yan, bahagi yan ng first phase. Ibig sabihin, yung ginawa ni Barsaga sa Forbes Park, bahagi yan ng first phase. Ang tawag dyan ay
Ayan
calculated, targeted disruptions. Parang
bakit yan anti-everybody yan eh. Anti-everybody yan. Lahat kinocross nila eh.
Build up
Galit sila
yan
sa
para
lahat.
phase 2. Yung phase 2 is the big mobilization. Yun yung phase 2. Parang meron silang plano na phase 3.
Ang phase
Kanino
3,
ng grupo to kasi galit to kay Duterte, saka kay Marcos at sa lahat eh. Galit sa buong mundo. Anong grupo yun?
but pero Bokas, kasi let me bring it back to the earlier problems that we've had even before, even nung panahon ni Cory eh. Is it possible that November 30 could be the day where we would have a confluence of events that would make things right for somebody to take advantage of?
Could be.
Maraming
pero
gustong mag-take advantage.
Dalawa yung rally dyan Yung isa ay sa EDSA. Ito yung mga trillion peso march. Civil society, church, Catholic Church, etc. No? Itong sa Luneta, yan malamang yung Iglesia, JIL, KOJC, Duterte, etc. So magkaiba sila. Mukhang magkaiba ng messaging dyan. Yung sa EDSA, outrage against corruption, but within constitutional limits. No, within constitutional limits. Yung sa Luneta, mukhang walang limits. No? Yun yung magiging major na kaibahan.
Anli, yung nasa Rizal Park.
Anli. Resign all.
Resign all, Anli.
Oo, parang yan dyan sa ICI ngayon. Kanya resign all.
Yan. Lahat yan eh. Lahat galit sa lahat yan eh.
Pero yung nga, Ronald, well, let me put it this way na lang. Ronald, ikaw ba ay naghahanda?
Ako? Ba't ako maghahanda? Nangheheke lang ako dito eh. Nangheheke lang ako eh, no? Tapos nandito ako sa ilalim ng puno ng mangga, nagninilay tungkol sa mga bagay-bagay, no? Ganun lang.
Anyway, sabi ni Vince Dison, ewan ko if it will help diffuse. Sabi niya, before Christmas, meron na daw nakakulong din sa mga flood control. Ngayon, may problema sila ngayon dahil napakalataas nga na skepticism ng public, bigla mong inacquit sila, Enrile. Hindi ba medyo masama yung timing nun?
Ganda ng
And then
timing.
sinasabi ng mga tao, tignan nyo kung anong kalalabasan ng mga kaso rito. Ha?
May statement si Lala de Lima eh.
Mga tao eh.
May statement si Lala
Ganda
de
ng
Lima about
timing,
that.
di ba?
Medyo masama yung timing
Ganda ng timing.
Yan ang sasabihin ng mga tao eh. Kita nyo? Ang tagal-tagal ng kaso? Wala nangyari. Yan ang sinasabi actually ng mga tao ngayon.
More than a month ago, Ami, si Binay naman. Na-quit.
Yan na nga. Tapos, na-acquit sila, pero kinonvict ng sandigan yung mga hindi natin kilala. Galing sa National Livelihood Development Corporation. Mga
NAPCOR.
never heard. Yan, oo.
NAPCOR yan.
Yan. Yan ang na-convict, yung mga hindi kilala.
Tsaka yung mga chief of staff, gano'n.
Yan. Yan ang na-convict sa PIDAP.
Like si
Ngayong araw,
Richard Cambe,
Diba?
na-convict.
Kapareho ni. Masikat pa si Richard Cambe dito. Hindi ko kilala itong mga to. Kaya yan ang ano. Kaya medyo mahirap ibenta ngayon yung sabihin mong kahit anong pagdurusa dyan ni Boying Remulla, nabibilisan niya, prosecutor lang siya. Pagdating sa korte, yan ang problema niya.
Alam ko, Ami, hindi ka nagbabasa ng Tribune. Pero nakita mo ba yung front page ng Tribune? Si Vince Dizon nakalugmok. Halos yung halos
Hindi, nagbabasa ako, no?
80% ng front page nila, si Vince Dizon lugmok.
Oo nga.
Kawawa naman.
Kaya nga. Hindi, yun ang pangako niya. Yun ang pangako niya na may makukulong daw before Christmas. Saka sinabi ni Boying, kinaklarify niya, minamalit yung malversation ha. Under the revised penal code, kapag yung malversation involves over 8.8 million, ang bababa niya na, non-bailable na yan. Saka ang parusa, life in prison. Matindi siya. So kung multiple yung papailan sa'yo, kahit dalawa lang hindi ka na makakapiyansa. Although yun na nga, inuulit ko, si Enrile hindi nakapiyansa, pero pinayagan din, di ba?
I was about to say that Nothing is impossible anymore.
For humanitarian purposes.
Nothing is impossible.
Legal counsel pa. Yan ang usap-usapan ngayon, yan ang problema.
Sino yung chief of staff na namatay sa preso?
Richard Cambe,
Richard Cambe.
diba?
kay Bong Revilla.
Richard Cambe, hanggang ngayon, yun ang ginagamit yung pagkamatay niya kasi yung order para ibalik yung 124.5 million sa atin na mga taxpayer. Ang argumento yata, patay na yung isa, paano yun? Joint yun. Kailangan ibalik ni Senator Bong Revilla, ni Cambe estate, no? Sa kanina po, less. Kaya wala pa tayong nakukuha. Yan ang mga, I'm just mentioning the
Talking
the
out loud.
skepticism na nakikita mo.
You're just
Yan
talking
yun,
out
yan
loud.
yun.
Bok,
Ed,
yan
Yo.
yun.
sakali bang, Ed, ako yung makasuhan yan, pwede ko bang gawing fall guy si Manny Mogato?
ba't si Mugs na naman naisip mo? Ikaw mawa ka lang kay Mugs.
Hindi, naghahanap ako ng fall guy kung sakali. Pwede ba si Mogs?
Full guy,
Yan,
full.
si Mary Mon, no? Si Mary Mon na lang iiyan natin.
Full
Ituro
guy,
natin.
full. Yan, no? Naka-black, naka-white si Mary mo, no?
Yung dating babaeng naka-magenta, ngayon ay naka-black. Yan, si
Black and white, oh.
Mary
Mukha
Mon
kang
Reyes.
Mukha kang Swedish Parang Scandinavian
Ang tawag doon, yung nagsaserve ng
parang
beer,
kumakanta ka doon sa wala
sa mga Oktoberfest.
Parang Sound of Music. Yan ang nakita
Sound
kong
of
costume
Music.
sa Sound of Music.
Yung naka-Dutch.
Naisip ko
kayo
Oktoberfest,
naman.
ikaw
Dutch
naisip mo Sound
girl.
of Music.
Parang kang tiga Den Haag. Nandiyan ba si Juan?
Dutch
Nandiyan ba
girl.
si Harry Roque?
Teka, ang gulo niya, pag-report niyo muna kaya. Mary Mon Reyes, ang ating mojo mula sa Senado. Mary Mon, anong ganap dyan?
Oo, Bok, magandang hapon na Ami and Ronald. So far, katatapos lang ng mga budget hearings ngayon. Kaninang umaga ng Office of the Ombudsman and ngayon ng Department of Agrarian Reform. And so far kanina, mabilis din na pumasa na sa committee level yung proposed na 6.39 billion pesos na budget ng Office of the Ombudsman for 2026. And sa ilalim nito, may mga nakalaan sila for the modernization and yung digitalization daw ng sistema kasi mano-mano pa raw yung pagpaproseso ng mga dokumento. They're planning to make it paperless as much as possible. Yung data storage nila, gusto na rin nilang gawing modernized, digitalized na rin ito. And sabi rin ni Ombudsman na Crispin Remulla, they're also looking into the using of AI para raw sa mas mabilis na processing ng mga ito. Bukod dyan, they're also looking into establishing 3 additional Ombudsman Assistance Centers para raw mas mapalapit pang Ombudsman sa publiko and mapabilis din daw yung pagtanggap ng mga complaint, yung pagtanggap din daw ng SALN and other assistances na maaaring ibigay ng opisina kasi so far ngayon din daw, admin staff pa lang ang mga nakapwesto doon, hindi raw abogado. So they're also proposing the idea na lahat daw ng papwesto sa mga Ombudsman Assistance Centers magiging mga practicing lawyers din daw para even sa usaping legal, lalo na pagdating doon daw sa mga complaint, maaari daw na mabigyan talaga ng assistance ang publiko. So far din, kanina si Ombudsman Remulla na ibahagi niya rin na pinapabilis nila yung sistema. Tulad nung ginawa niya raw sa DOJ, gagawin din daw nila sa Office of the Ombudsman sa mabilis na pagproseso daw ng mga kaso. So yung natanong ni Senator Sherwin Gatchalian, usually daw inaabot 2 to 3 years bago magkaroon ng significant na effect or impact itong Office of the Ombudsman pagdating sa mga pending na kaso. Sabi ni Ombudsman Remulla, hindi na raw aabutin ng ganong katagal. And in fact, sa kaalaman niya, within the next month, magpa-file na rin daw sila ng kaso sa Sandigan Bayan na may kinalaman naman doon sa cases din na galing sa ICI and sa DPWH. Walang ibang nabanggit na mga pangalan na mga makakasuhan except so far si dating ako Bicol Party Representative Zaldico dahil may case nga daw na final sa kanila from Oriental, yung tungkol doon sa around nearly 300 million pesos sa Oriental Mindoro. So Zaldico's one. And sa mga senador, hindi niya pa natutukoy talaga kung meron daw kasama makakasuhan. Pero kasabay niyan, pipirma na rin daw siya ng mga suspension order for DPWH officials. Plus, ang isa sa mga titingnan na rin nila yung pagsisiguro daw sa mga freeze order, yung pag-hold ng passport in case lang ipag-cancel ng passport ni Zaldico kung sakali talaga makakasuhan na, and other needed efforts daw or actions para raw. Kasi matagal na raw itong korupsyon na nangyayari and ang deadline nila is always yesterday. So yun yung pinaka-mindset na ginagawa ngayon ni Remulla and tinitignan niya sa pinapabilis nilang proseso ngayon, baka by Christmas, mayroon na tayong mga makikitang mapuput behind bars.
Meron man, hindi pa napag-uusapan o laban na tanong kung kailan makakasuhan kung sakali man si Zaldico. Kasi yun ang tanong ng maraming tao eh. Zaldico's in the wind. People have been looking for him since the other month or last month. And he's been fingered in so many of the cases already. At parang hanggang ngayon, wala pa atang may napalibang kaso? Parang wala pa ata eh. Kung meron man, hindi pa umuusad kaya wala pang arrest warrant, wala pang cancellation ng passport. So everybody's waiting for something to be done about Zaldico.
Oo, Bok, yung doon sa side ng DOJ na meron din silang cases on 5 ghost flood control projects. By Monday, magpa-file na raw sila ng kaso nila sa RTC. Pero for the Office of the Ombudsman, we are anticipating within this next month daw, by November, magkakaroon na rin ng pagpa-file ng case sa Sandigan Bayan. Yun nga lang, hindi nag-divulge masyado si Remulla ng ibang detalye tungkol dito. Basta sure sila na pinapabilis nila yung mga proseso na ginagawa, especially for big cases tulad nitong flood control projects. And isa rin sa natanong kanina, yung tungkol sa dismissal order, sabi ni Ombudsman Remulla, actually ayaw raw pag-usapan. Pero may public interest daw kasing kinalaman doon sa usapin na yun. So ang question, bakit hindi raw alam ng publiko na mayroong dismissal order? Merong na-reverse na dismissal order laban kay Senator Joel. Ang alam daw ng taong bayan, mayroon na raw hustisyang nakuha. Yung pala, nabago, nagka-reversal. So nung natanong din ng media kanina, na sabi naman po ni dating Ombudsman Martires, di naman daw secret decision yon. Sabi ni Remulla, hindi niya raw alam. Kasi nga, kung gano'n, bakit daw hindi alam ng taong bayan, hindi rin daw alam ng mga senador na mayroong reversal doon sa naging desisyon. Hindi raw pa sila nag-uusap ni Senator Joel tungkol dito, hindi rin pa raw sila nag-uusap ni dating Ombudsman Martires, pero pinag-aaralan daw nila ito, maging yung timeline doon sa naging dismissal order and yung reversal. Kasi nagkagulatan din daw, nalaman niya na lang nung nasa isang interview siya na may reversal pala ng dismissal order.
Merimon, wala ba nakipag-away kay Remulla kanina? Tuwing humaharap yan dyan, may umaaway sa kanyang senador eh. Hindi, tuwing humaharap siya dyan, nakikipagsagutan siya dyan, nung DOJ siya ha. Eh ngayon parang wala akong nakikita yatang umattend na and considering na na nagbanggit na siya ng mga pangalan certain senators na baka makasuhan dyan sa flood control.
Oo, so far kanina si Senator Sherwin Gatchalian yung nandoon sa pagdinig and then humabol lang din sa may pagkatapusan na si Senator Loren Legarda. So far, sinabi naman ni Senator Sherwin, alam niya, lalo na nung naging ombudsman itong si Remulla, parang napunta yung init daw na ulo or mainit ang tingin sa Office of the Ombudsman. Pero tinanong din ng senador itong si Remulla kung may iba pa bang kailangang suporta in case itong Office of the Ombudsman mula sa Senado, kung may kailangan pa raw ba sa budget or other supporting efforts or initiative. open naman na makinig itong Senado sa magiging request ni Ombudsman Remulla. So far, wala namang ibang nabanggit yung Ombudsman. And mabilis, 10 o'clock nag-start, natapos before 11:20 a.m. yung hearing ng budget ng Office of the Ombudsman. And wala namang ibang naging question pa itong mga senador tungkol sa kanilang panukalang pondo.
Wow, walang oposisyon No opposition. Okay
Mary Mon, may napag-usapan ba dyan tungkol kay Joel Villanueva?
So far, Ronald, wala pa. Para sa mga senador, so far wala pa kasi technically walang opisina ang Senado every Friday. So kung may nakaschedule lang na committee hearing, sila lang yung nandito. Tulad yan, sila Senator Sherwin, Senator Loren kanina. And pagdating dito kay Senator Joel, ang sabi ni Ombudsman Remulla, yun nga, di pa sila nag-usap ng senador. Sila daw ni Senate President Tito Soto, nagte-text daw, nag-uusap, pero hindi nasabi kung ano yung pinag-uusapan nila. And so far, yung tungkol dito, natanong din natin kanina kung possible pa bang ma-reopen yung dismissal order? Kasi inaaral ni Ombudsman Remulla, posible pa bang mabuksan ulit to? Pwede bang ma-reverse niya yung naging reversal dito? Sabi niya, di pa raw siya makakapag-komento, basta pinag-aaralan niya kasi ilang taon din yung kailangan niya raw busisiin doon sa timeline tungkol dyan.
Medyo weird dahil usually kasi 10 days yung binibigay na palugit para sa motion for reconsideration. Hindi siya taon So dapat paglabas ng decision ni Carpio Morales, dapat within the 10 days paglabas, dapat doon nag-file.
Alam na natin.
Kaya medyo weird yung nangyari dyan. Tapos, walang nakakaalam. Pero mo mismo yung incoming ombudsman hindi niya alam, no? At kung ikaw yung nakasuhan at ikaw yung naabsuelto, di ba masaya ka na i-announce mo yan? Ikaw, Ed, pag ikaw ay naabsuelto, di ba a-announce mo kagad? Hindi after 3 years.
Hindi ko alam, hindi mo nakakasuhan eh. Hindi ko kaya mo eh.
Medyo ko lang. Yun naman, ito ko lang inquiry in aid of legislation. No? Inquiry lang naman.
Ayun.
Oo. Bok, dagdag ko lang din, nasabi rin kanina ni Ombudsman Remulla, hindi raw malinaw yung sinasabi nga na bakit kahapon lang lumabas yung reversal, lalo pa nung na-announce niya na may plano na siyang magsulat. Ang sabi niya, may mga segregation daw kasi ng tasks during the past ombudsman. Wala raw transparency nung araw. Meron daw isolation ng units, hindi raw magkakasama. So yan yung isa sa mga tinitingnan ngayon ni Ombudsman Remulla, lalo na sa mga susunod na buwan o taon sa kanyang termino, yung paano raw magiging bukas din sa publiko at kung ano pa yung possibly na hindi pa nalalaman ng ombudsman sa mga sinasalubong niya ngayon bilang bagong ombudsman.
Okay. Mga Bok, we have to say goodbye to Mary Mon kasi we have a guest coming in from the DOJ after this gap, so we'll have to go. Mary Mon, maraming salamat. Sorry, Ami, our guest will be waiting So, i-park mo na si Mary Mon. Mary Mon, maraming salamat. You're watching StoryCon One
Thanks,
News.
Mary Mon.
We need to take a break.
Mon, yung keso. Yung keso. Mahalaga yung keso sa ganyang attire. Dapat siya may keso, tapos may baka sa likod. Woo! Woo! Mga ganun, no?
Sarap na Ronald. Mukhang nakabakasyon ka talaga. Sige, Bok, we need to take a break. We'll be right back.
This is the Story Conference Group or the StoryCon Group.
We've got developing news in the stories behind the headlines. Welcome back to StoryCon, the Story Conference. I'm Ed Lingao. And joining us via Zoom, Ami Pamintuan, ang bossing ng Philippine Star, Tito Rol Llamas, ang bossing ng mga madasaling obispo. Tama ba yun?
Wala pa. May I go out pa si Ronald.
nawala tuloy si Ronaldo.
May I go out pa, may I go out.
Ang ating makasalanang political heckler pala yun. Okay. Ronald, habang ka na lang And also join us this afternoon is DOJ spokesperson Attorney Polo Martinez. Sir, magandang hapon po and thank you for joining us, Attorney.
Sir, good
Good afternoon, Attorney.
And it's your first time, I think it's your first time here with our program. So,
That's correct, sir. Opo. It's nice to meet all of you.
we hope you enjoyed the discussion and we hope to have you back soon. Pero let me start off
Enjoy.
Let me start off with this, sir. May lumabas sa philstar.com today quoting General Bronner as saying that the PNP CIDG is considering filing charges against retired generals who teka, let me read it to you na lang it's a story written by Christina Chi. Okay, here we go. Sorry, kailangan ko na salamin.
Sige po.
Okay. The PNP is reviewing possible criminal charges against people urging the AFP to stage a coup, withdraw support from BBM, or form a military junta, General Bronner said on Friday. The PNP CIDG is studying potential cases against not only retired generals, but all individuals urging military intervention. Bronner said in a radio interview with DZRH. Yung DZRH pala yung interview. So, sir, we're not lawyers. We don't know how things go and what constitutes sedition as far as the letter of the law is concerned. Your thoughts? Is this within the of the DOJ? Is this within the consideration now of the DOJ?
Well, okay, sir. So we have not yet received information with respect to these cases. But if it's with the PNP, then we could expect them, if there is merit in whatever.
Nawala po kayo.
Sir, we lost your audio, sir.
Sorry, can you hear me? Am I audible?
It's back, sir.
Okay
It's
na.
back. Sir.
Lalapit ko yung camera, no?
Okay, sir.
Okay na.
You were saying, sir?
Yes, sir. Opo. So we have not received information yet on whether or not they will be filing cases. If they're investigating something, they could always coordinate with the DOJ for case build-up in the event that they do file the complaint. But as of the moment, I cannot yet comment on that because we have not received the information.
But sir, as far as we know, I mean, a lot of things have come out already in the past so many weeks. I mean, since September 21, it's been discussed so openly already. We're wondering lang. Sige, let me start with the basic. Ano yung parameters ano yung parameters for something to be called seditious? What does the revised penal code say about that?
So seditious.
Oh, sir, we lost your audio
Nawala
again.
po ulit.
Naputol,
Nawala
sir,
rin
yung
ako.
audio. Yes, sir. Wala pa, sir, ang audio. We can see you, but the audio is
Yeah, yung audio ang nawala.
missing.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hindi siya.
Yes,
Okay
sir.
na, okay na.
sir.
Okay.
Kung gusto niyo, sir, magdadab kami ng
So sorry, intermittent. My Wi-Fi is a bit intermittent, I believe.
Sige, sir.
I'll
okay.
just explain. Tell me if I cut.
We're good, sir.
So,
Yes, sir. We will.
seditious speech is inciting to sedition is when words are uttered, words are said, which incite the public to rise publicly and tumultuously. So, yan po yung mga salita na pag sinabi, it'll incite the public to rise against the government with a certain intention to deprive the government of its powers. So, it's the act of sedition, seditious speech, or seditious actions with the goal of depriving government of its powers. So when the two are taken into consideration, they come together, they both satisfy. That's how sedition could be constituted or could be committed.
Yung recruitment, kasi nagkikwento din si General Bronner na he was actually approached by
Parang nire-recruit
or
sila.
meron yatang nagpadala ng merong nagpadala ng word na sounding him out about a possible coup. Yung ganon.
Paano po recruitment?
This act ba yun?
Recruitment po in what sense?
Na sumali po kayo sa coup.
Opo, well, yun po ma'am is inciting to sedition. So,
okay.
kasi increment sa batas may sedition talaga, may inciting to sedition. So, sedition po talaga yun yung acts that the public rising publicly and tumultuously to deprive the government of its powers. Yung inciting to sedition is, yung nga po ma'am, the words that you used is to recruitment po. Opo, pag may sinabi tayo na umalma, na nakakaalma sa publiko.
So, kailangan nyo ba ng complainant o pwede kayo mag-motu proprio? Kasi tinatanong ng mga, lalo na yung progressives, no? Sabi nila, sila daw, mag-rally lang ng konti na may ganyan-ganyang message. Pinapailan kagad sila ng sedition. Bakit daw yung mga ganyan? Nire-recruit yung AFP chief, bakit daw hindi pailan ng sedition?
Well, depende na po yun, ma'am, sa facts of the case kasi case by case po yan ina-analyze Siguro po pag nabasa ko yung kaso, mas makapagbigay po ako ng aking kuro-kuro. Pero as of this moment, yun lang po, the general idea kung ano po ang sedition at ang inciting to sedition.
Okay, sir. Let me put it this way, sir. If a group, or whether it's a group of retired military officers or a group of former politicians or incumbent politicians, if any person or any group asks, for example, active duty officers to withdraw support from the government, we're talking about active duty officers, withdraw support from the government, or to stage a coup d'etat, what would that be?
Well, in that case, sir, it doesn't really have to be active officers for it to be an act of sedition. Sedition in itself could be done by a private citizen. The crime that you may be referring to is coup d'etat, which is a different crime falling under a different provision in the revised penal code. So iba po elements na yon. So it's different po from sedition.
But it's also penalizable. It's also
Yeah, of
illegal,
course,
in other
of
words. Well, yun nga, sir. I'm sorry for going back to that, pero yun nga, we've been talking about this for the past 2 or 3 weeks already, and people have been talking about it so openly. To Ami's point po, to Ami's point earlier, yun nga pag mag-rally mga kaliwa, dampot.
Arestado at kaso kaagad.
Ito 3 linggo na napag-uusapan at at it's not
I guess
it's
po,
not
ano na, sir,
underground.
if I may, base po dun sa pagka-explain ni ma'am, inciting to sedition po kasi, kahit na wala pa pong nagaganap na seditious actions,
Yeah.
or kahit wala pa pong violence na nagaganap, it is punishable. The mere fact of inciting. And under the revised penal code po kasi, hindi po kailangan na people are actually incited. 'Di ba? Na talagang they were riled up to commit something. The mere fact that what the words that were said or the actions that were done had the tendency, the operative word is tendency, to incite people to commit actions that will deprive government of its powers, punishable na po yun. So yun po kaiba ng inciting to sedition, sa sedition mismo, sa coup d'etat. So iba-iba po yung mga krimen na yan and each have their own respective elements. Kaya ang inciting to sedition po kasi, no action, violence has to be committed. Basta may tendency.
So magsasampa na kayo ng kaso dito sa mga seditious elements na ito?
Well,
Will we see that soon?
Well, kami sir, I mean, again, we have not received any information from the PNP. If ang mga kaso pong sinasampa will be coming from law enforcement, they will be filing with the DOJ, kami po mag-iimbestiga. But it will not be accurate po to say na ang DOJ ang mangkakaso sa mga to without any complaint being filed with the department. Galing po sa law enforcement yun.
Pero wala ba kayong coordination? Halimbawa, nagsalita si Browner. Halimbawa, nagsalita ang PNP.
Opo.
Yung ba ay mga laway lang? Wala ba kayong, bago nila sabihin yan, hindi ba kayo nag-uusap? Na ito yung balak namin gawin? No? Dahil ang nangyayari ngayon, parang yung naririnig mo lang sa press release eh. So, di ba? So, sana bago mag-press release, ay mag-usap muna kayo. Para
Opo.
hindi nalilito yung tao.
Yes, sir. Opo. I agree, sir. I agree, no? Kasi kami naman po is, yung coordination po namin with law enforcement, nagsisimula lang po kapag may complaint na na-file. Doon lang po papasok yung case build up. As in the ordinary scheme of things, independent pa rin po ang law enforcement sa DOJ eh. So, only kapag nag-file sila, doon po lang po namin sisimulan tingnan, okay, pwede tayo mag-usap, tingnan natin if this could proceed to preliminary investigation, kung sapat ang ebidensya to proceed to trial. Pero before that is done, whatever the law enforcement po does is within their own domain.
Yes, I understand that fully. Ang sinasabi ko lang, na sa gobyerno din ako before, usually may clustering yan eh. Doon sa clustering, nagpaplano. Dahil sabi mo nga, kailangan yung DILG, PNP, ay nagsasampa ng kaso, yung AFP, kung sakali, i-recommend yan, tapos kayo yung magsasampa. So, ang nangyari kasi ngayon, public kagad eh. No? Yung mga information. No? Kaya medyo nakakalito. Ang assumption ko, meron kayong government cluster na pinag-uusapan yan. Or at least dapat.
Opo. Wala po akong information with respect to that, sir, no, but I do agree. Dapat there should be. So we'll probably get back to you on that, sir. No?
Ikalawa, ay hindi ba pwede na yung cluster na yan gumawa ng matrix or mapping? Ano yung mga nangyayari? Ano yung mga ginagawa nyo? Nasa na bang level yung DOJ? Nasa ang level na yung ICI? Nasa ang level na yung PNP? Dito sa anti-corruption matrix na ito. No, para walang overlap at saka hindi confusing. Para very graphic sa tao. O ito yung ginagawa ng ICI, ito ang ginagawa ng DOJ, ito ginagawa ng NBI, no? Ito ginagawa para malinaw sa amin. Hindi nalilito. O ito yung kasong ito nakasampa na ngayon. No, ang in-charge diyan ay Solicitor General. Ito ay investigasyon ng ICI, ni-recommend na ombudsman. Yung ganun ba?
Status
Dahil ang dami kasi, ang daming ahensya, ang daming investigating body, minsan nakakalito. Oh, nakakalito. Si Ed Lingaw, litong-lito na eh. No? Ayoko nalilito si Ed eh. No? Ayoko nalilito si Ed. No? Si Ami, hindi nalilito si Ed.
Paano ba yung working arrangement nyo ngayon? Attorney, paano ba yung working arrangement with the Ombudsman and the ICI?
Opo, so
With regard to corruption, yung flood control na lang, sige, para hindi magulo. Paano yung nangyayari ngayon? Tinatanong din naman yan ng mga tao eh.
opo, thank you for your question, ma'am. Currently, ma'am, na-deputize na po ng Ombudsman ang Department of Justice at ang kanyang mga prosecutors sa taga-usig na to conduct preliminary investigation dun po sa 5 complaint na nasa Ombudsman at na-refer back po sa amin. So right now, we are compiling the evidence. We are planning the schedule to conduct preliminary investigation so that kung after our evaluation po ng ebidensya, kung sapat na po ito, we could file our resolution, issue our resolution, whether or not it will proceed to trial.
Sino-sino po yung mga big names dyan? Yung mga kilala namin? Sa 5 kaso?
I cannot disclose, ma'am, no, as to not preempt the resolution by the
Bago i-file.
Opo.
Pero pwede din mag-motu proprio ang DOJ? In relation to the flood control o pababayaan niyo munang ICI munang gumawa lahat? Di ba kayo
Independent
pwedeng, kung sa inyo dumiretso, may mga criminal aspects yan di ba?
Yes, ma'am.
Kung sa inyo dumiretso, pwede ba?
As long as may criminal grounds po, grounds for the commission of these crimes, sa amin po pwede dumiretso kasi among all the agencies, ang Department of Justice naman po ang and its prosecutors may prerogative to proceed to determine kung may ebidensya sufficient to proceed to trial. So yes, ma'am, the short answer to your question is yes. Opo.
Attorney, there's quite a bit of anger and impatience on the part of a lot of people in the public dun sa case ni, for example, diretso ko, yung kaso ni Zaldico, he's been named in so many of the cases. Everybody's looking for him. I keep saying he's out in the wind. He's abroad. He appears to be beyond the reach of the government right now. And yet, parang walang umuusad sa kanya. Is there a case already being prepared with regard to Zaldico? Are you free to talk about that? And if there is no case yet, what's taking so long? Kasi lahat po yan, dikit-dikit na eh. Hindi yung ma-cancel ang passport hanggang walang court order, hanggang walang court case. so parang humahaba na humahaba.
Yes, sir. I understand, no? Ito po kasi issue dyan, and I would like to discuss first the concept of criminal law.
Yes, sir.
For everyone. Criminal laws po kasi are territorial. Meaning, kung wala po dito sa bansa ang isang akusado, we cannot acquire jurisdiction over them. Maliban na lang po sa instances na kunwari, nahanap natin siya sa isang bansa where the country, the Philippines, has a standing extradition treaty with that country, then perhaps we could conduct negotiations for the extradition of this fugitive. But the problem here is, number one, sir, we do not know where this fugitive is. Number two, even if we do, we are uncertain whether or not may extradition treaty with that country. So yun po yung dalawang hurdles right now that we're working with na we have to contend with. So aalamin po muna saan po ba siya. Pangalawa, may extradition treaty po ba with that country? And only then could we act. Because criminal laws are territorial. And that applies po to all criminal laws in the world with respect to every jurisdiction.
Yes, sir.
Pero
sir,
hindi ba
even
pwedeng
before,
tuloy-tuloy yung hindi ba pwedeng tuloy yung preliminary investigation even in the absence of
Yes, sir.
yung isa sa mga akusado?
and the filing of cases. Kasi if you, unless a case is filed, then wala talaga extradition na mangyayari.
Oo, kasi kung iintay natin na bumalik siya, parang nag-iintayan, di ba?
Oh, yes,
ano
sir.
yung mauuna?
Magiging
Yung investigation on
insecularum siya.
filing of case? O hintayin natin siyang umuwi? Paano natin siya mapapauwi kung walang extradition or walang red notice to the Interpol?
Mukhang Ami, ang kailangan unang gawin ay DFA i-cancel yung kanyang passport.
Yeah, but
Hindi
yeah,
daw
DFA
pwede
says
i-cancel
that...
ang passport kung walang court case.
Oo, DFA says walang court case eh.
Dapat may magsampa ng court case para i-cancel yung kanyang
Hindi daw uusad yung preliminary investigation para isang pa sa korte. Hanggat wala siya rito.
Yes, chicken and
Kaya
egg.
kagulo.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Ako na
Tell
lang
us, sir.
Rafael.
Ano ba mauuna?
Opo, yun po yung sakit sa ulo kasi it seems like a chicken and egg problem. Ano po mauna?
Oo nga eh. Anong mauuna?
Tama po kayo, ma'am, kasi mauna po dapat preliminary investigation. Pero
Yeah.
bago po kasi umusad yun, kailangan sapat yung ebidensya para makapagsampa ng kaso sa hukuman. So, if the evidence is not sufficient within the first year, the preliminary investigation, hindi rin po kami makakapunta sa court for us to file the information necessary for trial to proceed. At which point, tama po kayo, na doon pa lang po pwede request for extradition because may standing crime. So again, it's a chicken and egg problem, but in either phase or level ng criminal justice process, meron po talagang hurdle. And the biggest problem that there is the fact that he cannot be located, which leads into number 2, in the insufficiency of evidence enough for us to proceed to trial or for us to conduct preliminary investigation. So yun yung
So,
pangalan.
so insufficient ba evidence?
Pero di ba,
Insufficient
very-
ba evidence?
Di ba
Well,
preponderance of evidence at this point?
No, sir.
Parang si Tebes, nung pumunta
Hindi
siya
po,
sa
sir.
East Timor.
I would
Diba?
like to clarify po, sir, no, that is
Hindi sila preponderance ngayon, oo.
preponderance. Ano po yan, sir, no?
Hindi sila.
Ang preponderance po is with respect to civil.
Civil. Civil.
Po, ang ano po, preliminary investigation, ang standard of proof is prima facie evidence with reasonable certainty of conviction. Medyo mouthful po, no? Medyo mahaba. Pero prima facie evidence with reasonable certainty of conviction, meaning, at this point, kailangan may reasonable certainty na po na mako-convict yung tao bago pa po tayo makapag-file in court. Tapos pagdating po sa court, ibang standard of proof naman, beyond reasonable doubt. So at each phase po, medyo mataas yung standard of proof. And if pinilit po natin i-file yung kaso ngayon without sufficient evidence, number 1, walabag po yan sa standard of proof that is required for the conduct of PI or for the filing of information with court. Mas mahirap din po ang standard of proof to be met pagdating sa court kung insufficient kasi beyond reasonable doubt na po pagdating doon.
Pero as a fugitive, parang fugitive na siya ngayon eh.
Opo,
Hindi ba,
kaya nga
hindi
po.
ba, hindi ba sapat 'yon as a fugitive? No?
No, sir, kasi I mean,
Na ika-cancel yung kanyang passport. As a fugitive, nagtatago na siya eh. No?
Hindi, may passport pa siya, kaya hindi pa siya fugitive. Saka
Pero,
wala
sir,
pang
maybe not,
wala
is
pang
he-
aresto.
Sir, maybe
Hindi
not. Is he
talaga,
already a
ang
fugitive
gulo eh.
legally? Legally, is he a fugitive
Oh,
already?
hindi. No, ang tatanong ko na lang, at this point, binubuo pa niya yung kaso for prima facie.
right now
So,
po,
hindi pa pala sapat yung mga narinig namin
Opo,
sa
opo.
mga investigation. Hindi pa sapat. Binubuo pa.
Binubuo pa, ma'am. Kasi, ma'am, of course, maliban po sa DOJ, ang talaga may primary task of investigating and conducting the enforcement of locating Zaldico, of locating his whereabouts, is within the domain of law enforcement po, the PNP, mga police. Nasa sa kanila pa po yun. Again, gaya po ng nasabi ko kanina, the DOJ, the prosecution only comes in kapag may complaint na naisampa sa DOJ. Doon na po magkaka-coordination or tinatawag nating case build-up. So, I mean, a lot of it is bureaucratic ang issue. But the bureaucratic problems only stem from the fact na the person we are seeking or is sought after is not even within the territorial jurisdiction of all these agencies.
Kasi
So,
iniisip ng
ibig
mga tao si Arnolfo Tebes eh. Bakit siya? Nagtago na nagtago pero napile ng kaso.
Iba po kasi, case to case po yan, ma'am, it's like comparing apples to oranges, kahit pareho pang prutas, iba naman po kasi yung lasa, iba yung nature. So, mahirap po mag-speculate. Pero, ma'am, so first, I'm here to clarify as much as I can.
So bottom line ay helpless kayo at this point.
I wouldn't say helpless, sir, no? I guess parang ano lang, may hurdle lang, may hurdle. Helpless kasi is parang defeatist yung mindset eh. We would want to disabuse the public na ganun na po ang posisyon ng Department of Justice. But we would also want to shed light on the fact na there are these obstacles we have to contend with. So it's not as simple as susugurin namin, di ba? As much as we would like to say na makukulong ang kailangan makulong, sometimes it's not as simple as that. There are hurdles you have to contend with.
Yes, pero sa pagkakapresent mo ng hurdles, parang Mount Everest eh.
Hindi naman po.
Oo.
Pero sir,
So,
I mean,
magkakapresent mo, ha?
with that analogy, sir, ang Mount Everest, naakyat pa rin.
Oo nga.
Naakyat pa rin ang Mount Everest.
Ayan Kasi pati si Alice Go, nagtago si Alice Go, nahuli. Oh,
Sir-
may nabuo naman kayong kaso sa kanya.
Sir, let me put it this way, sir. Are we anywhere near the filing of a case against Zaldico? Are we anywhere near? And I'm talking about the next few days or next few weeks.
Oh.
Well, sir, okay, if I'm being frank, not yet. No, not yet.
Malayo pa? Malayo pa, sir?
Hindi naman po sa malayo pa, no? But it's not, again, as with the analogy kanina of sir, is Mount Everest, it's still climbable. We're doing our best. We have explained itong mga obstacles, so at least there's a clear picture of what we're facing. And of course, as time will go by, perhaps siguro in the next month, or maybe we could give further updates with respect to these.
Sige, Mount pa na lang, Mount Apo.
Opo. Opo, yung mga kaya, sir. Kaya yan. Kaya.
Okay, well, I'm afraid we're out of time. But maraming salamat to DOJ spokesperson Attorney Paulo Martinez. Sir, we hope to have you back again.
Salamat,
Sana hindi ka
salamat,
nagsasawa sa
Attorney.
amin.
Sige po. Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney.
Makulit lang talaga kami. Thank you, sir.
Pwede rin Mount Kilimanjaro.
Hindi, babalik dito, ang ulit nyo.
Okay, maraming salamat for joining StoryCon today. Happy weekend to you. Aming pamintuan ang bossing ng Philippine Star and Tito Rol Llamas ang bossing ng mga Arsobispo at Kardinal. Tama ba? Join us again on Monday at 4 p.m. for StoryCon. I'm Ed Lingao. Kapatid, we are one news, all sides, all the time.
This is the Story Conference Group or the StoryCon Group.